August 2019. Now students, for 2019 there is no syllabus change, so you need not worry about anything that is affecting for 2020. Before we start analyzing the case, I need to explain the exam pattern. Now in the examination, they will be always asking you technical knowledge for 64%. Technical knowledge is the knowledge what you learn from the books. Example, the IAS theories, IAS 16. So if they ask you any question in IAS 16, you need to explain the right words. Example, in accordance with IAS 16, property, plant and equipments are tangible items that are held in for use. So students, you cannot explain by your own words. It should be completely book dominated knowledge. Then students, there is something called business skill. The business skill in the OCS examination is 16%. So in our exam, you will be referring to AKL Sparkle. AKL Sparkle. Now IAS 16 is the book knowledge you gave, and you need to say AKL Sparkle currently has machineries which it treats in accordance with IAS 16. Then there is people skill. There is people skill which is tested for 14% in the examination, which is the characters that is mentioned in the examination, and also the stakeholders that is there in the area. And then students, the leadership skill, which is almost the 6% total, and actually it is not given much priority at the moment via you make actions. Now the golden rule in this examination is the technical knowledge should be very strong. So I am just highlighting the technical knowledge so that you will be getting the clear understanding. Now students, when it comes to the case analysis, now AKL Sparkle, this is a jewelry company. This is a jewelry company where they are producing jewelry. They are not retailers, they are producers. In other words, they are manufacturing. So students, when it is a manufacturing company, the core subject that you need to be aware is P1, which is management accounting. Management accounting specifically emphasizes on the manufacturing companies. And then students, I can come to E1, which is also having philosophical theories on operational management like JIT, lean management and human resource management, which are essentially important for a manufacturing company. And then students, the F1 knowledge, which is the financial accounting knowledge, but more specifically working capital management, which is 25% of the syllabus, can be tested in this area. And also students, you should be aware about all the accounting standards. Now students, introduction, this I usually say as the business skill. Your role is people skill plus business skill. An introduction usually will have E1 subject, and your role here is also E1 subject, human resource management. And students, here I will just put a star. This time they have done a reciprocal approach where they have given articles on the jewelry industry first. Usually this will be the last section in the previous case studies, but this is the first area. And one thing students, I just want to highlight these articles so that you will be very much clear. Because students, usually they develop articles, or they develop your unseen based on the article what is given. AKL Sparkle promotion leaflet, and that is marketing, that is E1 once again students. This is also E1, mostly the marketing also. Extracts from staff training handbook, creation of bid, again that is E1, operations management and HR. Other information about AKL Sparkle, again the business skill only students mostly. The directors, the people skill comes here, so you need to be aware of the names of all the people. The key departmental team, the people skill, and also you can mention the leadership skill also. The financial statement for the year ended 31st March 2019, which is the F1 area, which you need to be very much strong. And also students, you can check my financial analysis, which is in the Facebook page, and also I have shared the link below. Articles on negative and impact of silver mining. So this is E1, P1 and mostly ethical issues which they can test in the examination. Articles on negative impact. An online article on Twill Returns in watch in 2020. Again, this is a business proposal which can be tested and they can ask you about break-even analysis, limiting factor analysis and also linear programming. So tax regime, I think you may be aware the accounting standard for tax is IAS 12 and usually they give this tax regime for most of the cases. Now students, since I have analyzed the cover page, I just want you to remind you that it will be better if you have a piece of paper with you, and if you want to take it, you can just pause the video for the time and then take it and continue the video. And also students, again, if you have any doubts which I have not cleared or as not covered in the analysis video, please feel free to comment on the comment box. Now students, let's come to the introduction, and this time you get a heavy introduction. Earlier the introductions are usually small, but this time the introduction is extremely huge. AKL Sparkle is a company that designs and manufactures silver beads for bracelet and sells these together with broad bracelet in the range of retailers. So students, they manufacture beads, in other words, the parts, and they integrate it into the bracelet and they sell it to the retailer. So students, I can write here supply chain management. Supply chain management will be a very important knowledge you need to revise, and that is an E1 topic. And also students, there is a topic called value chain which you need to revise also. Students, it's very important, these two areas what you are going to refer. It is based in Newland, so I can say a pestle analysis, you can say the political factors, the legal factor, everything. A country in Asia, so students, Asian country, you need to always be very careful because the compliances are little less in the European region when compared, which has N dollar as its currency. So students, in the exam they may also test IAS 21, which is foreign currency translation, functional currency, operational currency, you should keep in mind. AKL Sparkle has been trading since 2005. So students, this is almost a decade old company, not so much old, and the founding members are husband and wife. So students, Chakri and Kinling. So students, I think this company is still a private limited company. So corporate governance can come into an issue because husband and wife is running the company. But suppose if they are going to raise finance, they need to go for an IPO. So corporate governance also can be revised. Still owns and run the company. A growth to date has been rapid, starting from artisan silversmith with staff of 4 in 2005 to present day with a proposed building with employing 829 staff. So students, human resource management is very important here, starting from 4th and now it's 829. So students, you need to keep in mind the company has grown now and there will be opportunities in the future. In the early 2000s, jewelry industry within Newland saw changes in trend. So there is a changes in trend in the jewelry industry. So students, you need to also aware about Kaizen, and also there is something called BPR, business process re-engineering. Okay, and then with demand for silver exceeding demand for gold for the first time. So people are wanting silver more than the gold, therefore there's a change in the shift. So students, I can mention something called platinum, which is also a high quality gold, the white gold they usually say. There can be situation where people can analyze platinum also. And the emergence of the interchangeable jewelry prices. In particular, silver bracelet onto which differently designed silver bead could be threaded become popular. The idea being wearer could collect the bead and change the bracelet to create different looks for different occasions. Collection of different types of bead emerged, some plain silver, some encrusted with precious stones or painted with brightly colored enamel. So students, the differentiation, the marketing, everything can fall here. And also students, this is the production process and there can be limiting factor analysis. By the mid of 2000s, a silver bead is available in the market tended to be highest quality with prices ranging from $15 to $100 a bead depending on whether precious stones were added. So students, here you need to be very much careful about the procurement. In 2005, Chakri and Kinley saw a gap in the market in mid-quality and therefore affordable silver beads that could be targeted at people from 17 to 30. So students, here target audience is 17 to 30. So there can be some opportunities in the future where you can expand this range also. AKL Sparkle launched its first range of bead at $10 each, the price point low enough to be attractive to the target market and to encourage regular purchase of new beads. Although the bracelet beads were originally intended to appeal to females, a significant proportion of product purchased are worn by male also. So students, it's mostly focusing on the demographic trends here. The next thing, AKL Sparkle sells two types of bracelet. One is the sterling silver chain. You need to memorize this, and the leather cord. Students, these are the two ranges of products they are selling. So students, there can be break-even analysis, limiting factor analysis. So questions can arise, and there can be a new product development where you can do a costing analysis. Both types of bracelets, which are available in two different sizes, are bought in a range than manufactured in-house. So students, relevant costing, I will write here relevant costing. You need to revise this very much, students, because make or buy decisions can come in the examination. AKL Sparkle designs, manufactures and sells large and constantly changing range of sterling silver bead that can be threaded to the bracelet. The beads are sold individually and design snugly fits on bracelets AKL Sparkle sells. Although they fit bracelets that competitors sell due to fine size of bracelet, AKL Sparkle sells most competitor branded beads do not fit to the bracelet. So students, this is one strategy they are following. AKL Sparkle does not sell products directly to the end customer, so they have a downstream supply chain. So please keep that in mind. Instead, AKL Sparkle sells jewelry to wholesalers and retailers. So students, working capital management is a very important thing. There can be topics like factoring which can be coming into the area where you need to check. You need to also see if the payable management budgeting can come inside, students. The production budget, the manufacturing budget, material usage budget, everything. Please keep that in mind. AKL Sparkle does not own and operate a retail outlet and has no online retail presence. So students, in the unseen, there can be ITIS tested where a proposal to develop an online store or a proposal to develop an own store. All of AKL Sparkle sales are made in Newland. Newland is the only country they are working at the moment, but there is high chances that they can expand to another region. The market for bracelets with beads such as those sold by AKL Sparkle is dominated by two large international companies, Starbright and Batch. So students, please circle this. This is very important for people's skill, because suppose if your quality reduces, these two people will take over your market share. Both which manufactures and sells a range of jewelries which includes bracelets with beads. Both of these companies control their own distribution channels and exert significant influence over their suppliers. AKL Sparkle also has a number of smaller size competitors that sells bracelets with beads, some at luxury and some at budget end in the market. AKL Sparkle has found and developed a niche in the found favor of fashion conscious market and has a lower price, in other words, cost leadership, that the main competitors. Together, these advantages ensure high level of repeat purchasing and strong distinctive brands. Now, students, when we are coming down here, they have given your role specifically. You are the finance officer working with the finance department of AKL. This is the normal trend in the OCS examination. You are principally responsible for preparing budget. I told you specifically, they will tell you variance information, so mixed yield variance, and also students planning operating variance, all you need to consider. Assessing Jack East, head office finance, with information to assist decision making. So students, it's a very important, the risk topic may come. In addition, you assist with the preparation of financial statements and deal with the request for information from other managers in business when required. So students, indirectly they are telling you will be tested with 100% of E2, E1, T1 and F1. So students, here they are clearly giving you the Business Today article. The jewelry manufacturing industry in Newland today compared to 20 years ago. This is the trend analysis. In Newland, we have a long history of excellence in jewelry manufacturing with world-renowned reputation for skilled craftspeople. So students, there is something called diamond theory. Please keep that in mind, students. World-renowned. So they have something called factor conditions. The world's two largest manufacturers of jewelry are based in Newland, and there are further 360 companies registered as jewelry manufacturer in the country. So students, the environment is highly competitive. So students, 5-force analysis also may be important. This compares only 200 Newland jewelry manufacturers over 20 years, which indicates significant growth in the industry as seen in the recent times. The jewelry manufacturing industry in Newland can be broadly defined as jewelry manufacturing, fashion jewelry, fine jewelry, budgeted, affordable, and luxury. So students, when we are coming down, we are seeing fine jewelry is any piece of jewelry made from pure metals such as gold and platinum, and highest grade sterling silver alloys, and includes jewelry incorporation precious stones as sapphires, emeralds, and rubies. So 100% here are all scarce resources, so a limiting factor analysis can come. Fashion jewelry is made from alloys such as sterling silver, sometimes incorporates semi-precious stones such as tanzanite. Jewelry manufactured in Newland can be categorized across full spectrum of quality and price point, from budget through luxury. The total revenue earned, including sales in Newland across the world by all Newland's jewelry manufacturer for 2018, can be split as follows. Classification by industry. So here students, fashion budget, fashion affordable, fine jewelers, and fine luxury. So fine is the real jewel, which is the most expensive one. So students, when we come to the next page, they are telling this analysis differs significantly from 20 years ago, when a similar diagram would have shown fine jewelry sectors with the highest market share. This change has been driven by the consumer, who is more interested in owning broad range of jewelry to suit different occasions rather than fewer high quality pieces which are worn regularly. The jewelry industry includes a very broad range of jewelry items, rings, earrings, bracelet, necklace, and within each of these broad range of style, the total revenue earned by Newland jewelry manufacturers, including sales in Newland across the world for 2018, can be split as follows. So students, these are the jewelry revenues they have given into splitting. And students, it is clearly essential to see bracelet with bead, which is 22%, and earring, which is 24%, are dominating the market, students. So students, there can be a situation where the company moves from bracelet into another product segment. So please keep that in mind, students. And then students, there is a standard called IFRS 8, which is known as operating segment, and which is a part of your syllabus. Please be keeping in mind. The major change in analysis about 20 years ago is the emergence of bracelet with bead segment in the market. In late 1990s, this type of bracelet was originally manufactured and sold by Starbright, Newland's largest jewelry manufacturer. Other jewelry manufacturers followed by added bracelet with beads to portfolio of products. Most of this manufacturing both bracelet and beads. So here the competitor analysis. So I can write here competitor analysis. Students, mark my words. You need to remember all the notes for the OCS because it is 64% technical, students. Please don't get misguided. This is a case study exam. So they will be asking me suggestions on strategy. No, students, you have not come to that level. This is OCS, you are finance officer. So they will be asking you doubts in technical area. In 2000s, a number of companies emerged specializing in manufacturing beads, and there are now 10 such companies. AKL Sparkle has been successful to date of these in affordable fashion sector. Growth prospect for the industry looks strong for the next 20 years. There could be also a threat of competition from manufacturers in other countries. But for so far, the country has the reputation for quality craftsmanship in New Zealand. So the people will anyway go for the local product because locally they are very much strong. Now, students, this is a marketing promotional advertisement which they have given the promotion leaflet. Now, the issue is now their target audience are 17 to 30 age. So, do need to have social media marketing. So, I will mention here social media marketing because their marketing department looks very poor or very much unfit to the trend they are having. Your beauty of AKL Sparkle bracelet is that you can customize it to meet your needs, whether you like a few beads or whole bracelet of beads. The choice is yours. Our designers keep one step ahead of fashion trends, and you have new designs and each month. So you can keep changing your bracelet to keep up to date with the latest trend. So this is their unique trend, the flexibility they are giving here. We are proud to say that all our silver bracelet and beads are made out of ethically, look at the verb here, students, ethically. So CIMA Code of Ethics, professional due care can be taken into a point. So 925 gold grade sterling silver. Step 1, choose your bracelet style, sterling silver or the leather. Choose the beads. So you can choose the bead what you want and you can always update it based on the requirement you have. Now students, when we come here, the next page you have the manufacturing process. So I can take it into the value chain, a lean management, JIT, everything can come. So design, craftsmanship, everything. So I can say computer aided manufacturing or computer aided design. You can keep it in mind. So upgradation can come, creation of prototype, creation of wax tree, silver casting, cutting and grinding, enameling and finishing. So students, when we come to the analysis of the manufacturing process, we can understand a little bit which will be essential for our standard costing, variance analysis, budgeting, and all other management accounting information. So each of our beads starts in our design department as a conceptual drawing prepared by one of our talented designers. So it's drawings not by computer. Each week, designer submits their drawings to committee made up of directors and managers from sales and production departments and they select new design for production. We anticipate around 10 new design each month. After the designs is approved, a digital model of beads is created in our CAD. So they already have CAD, so that's fine. That is designer. When completed, this is transferred to our 3D printer and resin model and bead is created. The resin model includes the stem of bead that will be later cut away. Creation of prototype molds. They are telling the resin model that is used to create prototype bead. Once in the prototype has been approved, between 50 to 100 rubber molds are created. You need to keep in mind. And these rubber molds are used for production of silver beads and can be used in numerous times. Students, pollution, everything you can keep in mind. Students, it's very important. And the next thing they are clearly mentioning is creation of wax tree. The first stage of production is to create wax copies of bead from rubber mold. This is done by injecting liquid wax into the rubber mold and allowing the harden before extracting the mold. If a wax bead passes a quality inspection, it is placed in a bin ready to be fixed on the wax. The wax tree is a resin column in which the stems have been done. So students, I'm not emphasizing on this. This they just give to make the students confusing on the industry data. The next one, silver casting. Each completed tree is placed in a metal cylinder and which is fixed with the plaster. After the plaster has been set in the cylinder, these are the one of furnaces that can be heated and wet. So students, what about health and safety in the working environment? These leaves behind the hollow bead shape responsibly stores sterling silver pellet plus rejected silver bead and metal in our large silver melting forces. So students, this is also they are going through. So I'm not going through in detail on the manufacturing. Students, this is just related to the industry. So students, I prefer here they are not having much specifical to the subject, and this is always done in the pre-scene analysis just to confuse the students. Students, when we come to the other information, this is a very important area where they are telling AK Sparkle does not currently sell to the end customer. We know that clearly. All AK Sparkle sales are made to retailers based in Newland and also Jewelry Independent Stone, National Jewelry Wholesaler, National Department Stone, and National Apparel Store. So students, please keep this in mind. This is very important. The breakdown of customers has been changed and demonstrated below. So students, here I think it's a very important area where you can also identify the bargaining power of the consumers also here. And also students, you can make some ideologies of here where you can relate it to the factoring, customer receivable management, everything. Currently, the customer base consists of 10 independent jewelry stores. For jewelry wholesalers, 2 department stores, 3 apparel stores. All independent jewelry stores and store wholesaler customers are given 30 days credit time. So students, I am putting a question mark whether money is collected on time. So this is the issue. Departments and apparel stores are given 45 days time, and they are giving 4. So the cash transaction is very less. The main reason, high competitors are there in the market. There are 4 sales managers, each with responsibility for managing a relationship with single group of customers. These managers tend to deal directly with the people who make the buying decision, usually the owner or senior buyer of the company. Each sales manager has authority to negotiate discounts with customers and responsibly managing it. So again, students' negotiation strategy. So here again comes the raw material and suppliers. They are clearly stating that all bracelets are currently bought from 2 different suppliers. So students, the third can come also in the pre-scene. So please keep that in mind. With AKL Sparkle has long-standing relationship. So that's a good indication. The bracelets are all made of AKL Sparkle requirement and are not sold to supplier to other customers. Each bracelets are a clasp of AKL Sparkle stamp on it which differentiate the similar brand. So this is a branding strategy they have been doing. The branding strategy where they have their logo. The main raw material input for beads in sterling silver, which is sourced in granular from single supplier. The sterling silver is used by AKL Sparkle with an alloy which contains 92.5% of pure silver and 7.5% of other material. Mostly copper, known as 925 sterling silver. 925 sterling silver is used for pure silver and original alloy, and also the argentium, which is 93.5 pure silver, known as 93.5 sterling silver. For 2 main reasons: firstly, the harder metal and therefore easier, and secondly, it is cheaper. So students, here there can be some frauds taking place in the sourcing, students, and also you need to do a cost benefit analysis. The enamel powder used in the production is the lowest quality enamel powder available. So students, it's a question mark, why are they doing? Which means the enamel colors are not always consistent. So there's a problem here, students. Occasionally causes problems when we need to color match. Enamel powders are sourced from a single but very reliable supplier. Even though it's low quality, they are still buying from one supplier. Therefore, high risk there, students, over dependency. Other inputs including plaster powder are sourced from variety of supplier based on the price available. Credit terms are 30 days for all suppliers. Dispatch. All products are delivered to customers using local courier service. So students, again, local courier service. To this date, the courier has been reliable, secure and reliable. So students, there can be situations where the courier has been delayed and therefore you can also change into a different type also. Now students, when you look at here, the employee, the direct production and indirect production administration, I feel this is mostly into the labor intensive model where the direct production labors are very high. Indirect production include bead designers, CAD operatives, and enamel kin operatives, purchasing employees, store employees, maintenance employees, supervisors. So students, in people skill, when you are referring to any issues, you need to mention rather. Some students generally say staffs must take action. That's wrong actually, students. You need to specify which staff needs to take action. You need to specify. Then the direct production employees, here they have given the production employees, and here the dominating part is wax trade, and also that is the most riskiest part also in the organization. So health and safety at working environment is very important thing that you need to consider, and that human resource management is very important, job description, everything. And there is another topic called resistance to change. This also is very important when there is something new coming into this area. Then students, AKL Sparkle has low labor turnover. So that means a good HR in department except enameling department. This department loses staff regularly as there is high demand for experienced enamelers in the local area. So the HR department must focus on how we can maintain the staff by giving them training, recognition, or a little incremental pay above the market. To reduce the impact on enamel department, AKL Sparkle recruits inexperienced apprentices and train them. So students, that's a not little risky strategy also. Suppose the quality level goes down, there will be a impact. TQM, I can say total quality management also can be tested. Although high proportion of apprentices are not engaged in training and promotion period, they contact to AKL for minimum of 2 years. But still students, you need to have a proper training and development and induction program to be conducted. The Newland does not currently have any employment legislation. So students, in the future, rules can come the legal environment, minimum pay fee or dismissible procedure. However, there's an increasing pressure for the Newland government to introduce regulation regarding minimum living wage and improve the employee protection. AKL Sparkle prides itself as paying a wage for looking after its employees, and indeed in recent government report and cited for being one of the best manufacturer employer in Newland for paying employees and maintain a high level of staff welfare. So that's a good thing. In other words, it's a good thing for the reputation. In the report, AKL Sparkle policy is providing air conditioning in production area during very hot summer month despite high electricity costs. So their employment practices are good. I was given an example of good employee welfare practice. AKL Sparkle was also praised for its support for local community in which its employees live through sponsorship, various initiatives, sports club including local youth cricket teams. So social welfare is extremely good here. So students, here it's a very important thing. Students, the directors, people skill, you should never forget the names of this. You should refer the names of these people when you are writing the answer also. Chakri is a skilled silversmith. Industry-wise, he's a very good knowledge. Over 30 years of experience, he established AKL Sparkle with his wife Kim Lee in 2005. Chakri is ultimate responsible for business strategy and also listens of few directors and senior marketing. Kim Lee, a fashion designer, so both are having a good synergical relationship to develop AKL Sparkle. So these two people are dominating, but later there can be corporate governance issue. And became interested in jewelry as fashionry, and also she has a passion for designing. So that's fine. And Paul Bevan, the production director, who is in charge for that entire process, and Lucy Han, the sales director, marketing, and Greta Shah, the finance director, whom you will be working with. And students, here the structural changes and production department they have given. lot of people's name you should keep in mind. And students, again, Phil Sita can come an issue because enamel department is not so strong. And then students, finance, directing finance, here you are one finance officer, Anna Olaf is another finance officer, Petra Golf and Kim Ling accounts receivable. So the organization structure is a little huge here, so please keep in mind. And Jack East is the head of finance you are reporting to. And students, if you look at the financial analysis, the company has a good growth. I have done all the analysis in the link below. You can check it out and you can find it out. And students, the budgeted profits, everything they have given here for the target. So definitely a budgeting can come, and also standard cost is also given, the standard day above everything. So students, be very thorough with the standard costing knowledge also. And then students, here also they are having this and additional information there on the individual product segment. And then students, this is the most important thing, the article on negative impact. So students, here they are telling whether it may jewelry or precision material, the worldwide demand for silver is at high and shows that sign of abating for natural resource which has been mined on the ground and environment. Silver mines have been opened up increasingly and mined deeper before. This causes erosion in the operate to increase the dangerous opening. Groundwater, soil and surface. So students, this is purely an article which can come in the exam as an unseen, where your company may be told as an accusing. And top 4 jewelry trends, students, these are the main jewelry trends. What is there? Sustainability and gemstone, color and vintage. So students, please go through this. Therefore, when there is a new product proposal, you need to analyze based on this. And then students, in the next page you have the tax regime. So students, I just wanted to tell you, if you look at E1, P1 and F1, if you see the subject wise, the most dominating subject will be E1 and P1. And students, I want you all to be thorough with the book knowledge. Students, again I'm telling you, thorough with the book knowledge, because students, only 16 marks is business skill, only 16 marks in business skill, and the remaining is technical knowledge. So try to revise all those things as much as possible, and I wish you a good luck for your examination. You will definitely pass. Be positive and always believe in your willpower, and I believe that you will definitely pass the exam. If you have any problems, please feel free to comment in the comment box. And thank you very much, my dear students, for listening to my audio.